Hi, friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I have in front of me a lot of things from Craftstash. So, if you watched my Craft Room Essentials video, I shared a lot of products that I would consider as essential in my craft room for the type of crafter I am and for the types of videos that I produce and the type of crafting that I like to do. But I also have a budget-friendly version of that video, and I realized as I was putting together that video that there were some things I was recommending that I didn't have firsthand experience with, and so I wanted to change that. And very specifically, what one of the products I was referring to is this one. It's the stamp platform that is available by Creative Craft Products, which is a brand that is sold at Craftstash. It's actually their brand. And it looks very similar to the stamp platform that I use. Mine has the hinge door, and apparently that version is available at Craftstash, but on the UK site and not on the US site. On the US site, you see this version, which has a system that's a little bit of a hybrid. It's kind of similar to the hinge, but probably aligns a little bit more closely to the We Are Memory Keepers precision press because it's got the peg system for registering the plate with the base. So, all that to say that through both personal purchases as well as reaching out to Craftstash to see if they would be interested in me reviewing any of their products. I've collected everything together. I'm going to show you what all I will be reviewing in the next few months. So be on the lookout for first look videos and follow-up conclusion videos as I get a chance to work with these products more and more. The reason why I reached out to Craftstash and the reason why I purchased some of these is because their prices are very reasonable. And when compared across the industry, I feel like it's a much more friendly to the wallet price point, even when you factor in shipping from the UK. So a lot of these conversations were in the works months ago, and some of these orders I placed, weeks ago. And so, they're all here now, and so I can really start to review these one by one in earnest. So let me just give you a rundown of what all I purchased and or was sent for free by Craftstash, and I'll let you know which is which. But I know that if you've seen any of my product reviews that I'm honest regardless of whether the products are sent to me for free or if I've purchased them. So I did reach out and ask if they would like me to review their mini die cutting machine. I just looking at it, I don't know, but I don't recognize this as being a white labeled machine. It doesn't seem similar to any that I'm familiar with in terms of mini die cutting machines. So this I thought was kind of interesting. I did not want to review their larger machine because I do think that it is similar or if not the same as the Bearcraft machine, which I do believe is white labeled because we've seen others like it. So that mini machine will be reviewed at some point. I purchased the mini scoreboard, so I thought this would be kind of interesting. I actually don't have a small version of a scoreboard. I have a 12 by 12 and I have my all-in-one. And so even though it's a little bit of a redundant tool in my craft room, and scoreboards, maybe they're all the same. We'll see. So I did purchase this one, and I showed it earlier, but I purchased this stamp platform and alignment guide. So I'm really excited to review this one I think it was like $9 when I purchased it. So it's a very budget friendly stamping platform. And I got this as well. So this is a stamping plate, and it's actually designed to use with something like an inky technique. Maybe you can ink up this plate and then stamp onto here to pick up your pigment or pick up your color, and then deposit that onto your cardstock or your substrate. And so it's kind of interesting. It sort of just seems like maybe it's can maybe even be used as a gel plate if you want to do gel printing. So it's 5x7. It's a nice size. So those I purchased on my own. I also purchased this, which let me just open now. It's a continuous spray bottle, which I think is kind of, from the description, a little bit similar to the Spellbinders spray bottle. So that's why I got it. And I guess I technically just did my first look of it, but I just wanted to show what this looks like. I guess I'll put it right back in the box and then do a proper first look video where I compare this against the specifically the Spellbinders. So those were all things that I purchased. And here's what was sent to me that Craftstash was interested in a review of. I'm excited for this one. So this is a light box. And if you know, you know, I've been into my diamond painting. And I actually do already have a light box. So it'll be interesting to compare this to the one I have. Because the one I have isn't exactly cheap. So it will be interesting to kind of see how this compares. And I'm very excited to have a first look at that. I have used my light box for things other than diamond painting. So I made a set of you'll see this project on the Artist Spree blog at some point, but I actually used this to trace a design that I then sublimated onto some sublimation blanks. So and I've used this on for my card making too. So there's a lot of uses for this, and I'm really glad to have one in my craft room. So then another, this is kind of interesting. I'm really curious to try this out. It's a rotating cutting mat. So it's circular, and I think it's on a dolly system that you can rotate. So this will be really interesting to craft with. I'm actually very excited for this. I think it's pretty unique, and I can definitely see the benefit to having something like this. So that one I'm pretty excited by. And then I thought this was really kind of them to also send. So these might not have their own first look video, but this is a magnetic shim. So kind of interesting. I'm curious to actually try this in, I assume it's a magnetic shim for your die cutting machine. So I'm actually excited to try this because the electronic die cutting machine I have is the Gemini, and so I'm kind of curious to see how strong this magnet is compared to that one. Then they also sent me a tidy tray, which is kind of interesting. This is big. I'm used to the smaller trays. So this has a funnel. You can actually use it if you've poured out some like embossing powder, for example, and you want to catch the excess and then easily be able to pour it back in. So I like that this is big because the smaller ones I find they're always kind of hard to really get them into the smaller tray. So I'm kind of curious to try that actually. This one I think will definitely come in handy. The last product I have is a set of 12 mini detail blending brushes. So this is going to be great for stenciling because these are small. There's multiple different sizes. It looks like there's 3 sizes and you get 4 brushes in each of the 3 sizes. So I think that'll be fun. And I actually have blending brushes from a couple different brands, so it'll be interesting to compare and contrast this against. To be honest, these look very similar to the Spellbinders ones. But again, I'm gonna do like an actual comparison once I open these up for the first time. And they're kind of similar to ones that I've gotten from Cat Scrappiness as well. So where typically these can differ between brands is how soft and or how stiff the bristles are and how densely packed the bristles are. So we'll see. All right, and that's a lot of product to test and try out. So it might take me a while to get to all of these, but at the top of my list will be the die cutting machine, the stamping platform, and score tool. You'll probably see me start integrating those into my regular videos as I test them and try them out. And on this side of things, these might take me a little bit longer to incorporate, although I might break into the light pad sooner than later because I do have a my members. I started up a diamond dot club with my channel members, so we actually have, I think, a diamond dot club meeting to hang out and do some diamond dotting, and I actually might bring this out then. So this actually might come out to play sooner rather than later just for that purpose. But I'll leave links to all of this in the description box if you want to check any of it out for yourself now. But for sure, I'm going to be using them all and giving you my thoughts on all of them over time. So be sure to check back in with me, and if you don't see me using something, feel free to remind me and ask, hey Lynn, when are you gonna get to that thing? Because I know a lot of times it can be hard to know like what products are worth buying, especially when you see it at possibly a lower price point that feels a little bit too good to be true. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this review, is so that I can try some of these out and give some feedback as to how they compare against some of the other things that I have, especially since I do have multiple things from so many multiple different brands. So that's something that I hope I can I'm still only one person's opinion and one person's feedback, so take that into consideration. But I think I'm coming at this from a unique perspective of just having a lot of things in my craft room that I can compare to. So I hope that that's of value and of interest to you. But certainly do your own research. So that's why I want to leave links to everything in the description box below. And if these things stick and they are products that I love, you'll probably start seeing them in my standard list of supplies. All right, thanks for checking out this video, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.